Just find what it is that you are passionate for, and there's going to be a place in the games industry for you. I'm Emma. I'm a lead developer for a company called Jagex, and I work on the MMO RuneScape. So my everyday work it changes from week to week, but there are a couple of things that I do consistently. So predominantly, I am a manager of a team of developers. So I have 4 at the minute, but that can, across our leads, that can range from 1 all the way up to like 8, depending on individual needs. So I support them in their role. I make sure that if they have any issues, I help them to resolve them. I guide their development, so to kind of help them get where they want to be in their own careers, whether that's within development or outside or whatever. Just kind of support them and help them through that. Jagex is I think it's just over 20 years old now. It was made by a couple of brothers in their basement. They started the game, and then very, very quickly it kind of all exploded. So that was RuneScape. That's the game that's been around for 20 odd years now. It's a game that I used to play when I was like 13, and my brother used to play when we were younger. It's just it's been a big part of a lot of people's lives. And then about, I want to say 10 years ago, don't quote me on that. And then a little while ago, we brought old school RuneScape as well, which is RuneScape, but it was a build that was actually released in, I think, 2007. So it's an older version of the game that everybody else is playing today. So those are the 2 main games. We've done a few others in the past, and we've got, a few others up our sleeve for the future, but those are the main ones so far. Jagex is about, I think we're nearing about 400 people now. And we're split up into the various teams. So you have the RuneScape development team, which handles all of RuneScape. You've got old school development that does all of that. You've got the other teams who work on the new games, as well as all the standard kind of teams that you would expect in most companies. So like your finance and your HR and all those things that people forget are part of games companies, which actually are. And I think a lot of the time, especially when you're younger and you're kind of aspiring to be in the games industry, you think, oh, I have to be a programmer or I have to be an artist, and that's how I get there. But no, that's not true. You can, as I say, you can work in HR, you can be an accountant, any of these kind of areas, and there's always a place in the games industry for you. And the atmosphere of the office isn't like you're sitting in your desk just kind of working 9 to 5 every single day. It's a lot more fun than that. It's a lot more interactive, and that's brilliant. It makes every day exciting and different, and you don't ever really wake up in the morning and go, oh, I've got to go to work. It's more, you're more excited about it. And then the other side is definitely the community that comes with the games. So we've got thousands upon thousands of players, which we can interact with on a day-to-day basis if we want to, through like Reddit and Twitter and Facebook and all social media. And having that direct kind of channel from a developer to the customer that you're making games for it's amazing. Like games are a big part of a lot of people's lives, and I think a lot of people see them as like a safe space where they can go and they can be themselves, and they don't have to worry about being judged or sometimes recognized, because sometimes you don't feel comfortable in your day-to-day life of being yourself around, the people that you see every day. And games are a great place to do that. So it's amazing having that connection with them and knowing that you're making this positive impact in their lives, and they can feed back to you and be like, actually, we would like X or Y. And there's kind of like that two-way relationship. And yeah, it's really motivating. At university, my degree was computer science and games technology. It was predominantly computer science, which in general isn't tailored toward games whatsoever. My thinking there was, because obviously games industry incredibly competitive, if I didn't manage to get that job in games that I wanted, I at least had the rest of my computer science degree to fall back on whilst I still worked towards getting the job that I really wanted. So that was like a little bit of a safety net for me. Yeah, it was a pretty straightforward degree, to be honest. There was a lot of programming, there was some modeling in there, some animation, so some more of the artistic creative side. And it kind of gave me a lot of, I can't remember what the saying is, but it gave me a lot of tools that I could work for and and play upon when applying for jobs. My experience of applying for games jobs, I mean, most of the time it was just my mum sending me links and being like, go get a job. It's like, seriously, just start applying for jobs, and would just send me a load of links over, and I'd send off for them. But they're very much, I think games, maybe not so much nowadays with a lot of the at-home working, but they're very big on getting you in face to face and doing like a half a day or maybe a day long kind of not assessment, but more like a meet and greet to make sure that you fit in with the company and you have the right skills that they're looking for and the right attitude towards work. One of the things that I never did, and it makes me incredibly surprised that I ever got a job in the games industry without it, was I never had a portfolio. So I'd never put together these games that I'd worked on in my spare time. I'd never put them somewhere that the employers could reach and could access. In fact, I didn't actually quite often make games in my spare time. It's another thing that makes me very surprised that I'm in the industry today. But yeah, that's something that the employers, especially at if you're hiring for like a junior level, it's really important for them to see that you have that passion and you have a bit of a flair for making games already. I look a lot for like team fit, and definitely whether they would fit well inside of the team that we're hiring for quite a lot of the time, to make sure that there's not going to be any tensions and that you're going to fit into the workflow and it's going to be pretty smooth. But something else that I personally value quite a lot is, there's a couple of things actually. So first off is empathy. I think empathy is an incredible attribute. Just being able to understand and realize how your actions can make other people feel. It just makes you a better co-worker, generally a better person, to be honest. I think that's brilliant, especially when working in a team. And then the other thing would be being able to admit both when you're wrong and when you don't know the answer to something. That shows that you're willing to learn. You're not willing to not just fake it and pretend that you know what you're doing and then come back a week later and actually know you've done it completely wrong. I think it's incredibly to have that kind of that ability to put your hands up and be like, sorry, I need more information, or I don't actually know how to do that. I think that's really, really important. I think one of the big things for the industry is your passion and showing that you are passionate about that thing. So even if you don't know what that is yet, even if you have no idea what it is that you want to do in the rest of your life, which, by the way, it's really stupid that you are expected at 17 and 18 to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. That's insane. But even if you don't know what it is yet, that's fine. You just need to, as long as you take the time and the effort to kind of figure that out and then put the time aside to work on it as well. That's not only going to be good for the rest of your career, but it's also going to be good for your mental health on a day-to-day basis. You're going to really enjoy doing this thing, and it's going to make you feel better and more accomplished and just generally happier with life and the place that you're in. You can't control and you can't know what's going to happen in the future, but you can control what you're going to do with your time today. So it's make the most of that time.